I would not try and add to your knowledge in terms of what you're already doing. But my presentation, and I am very grateful to Sheila ji for asking me to speak today, is to try and place the context of sanitation and try and understand what I call the political economy of sanitation. And in fact, I would call it more importantly the political economy of defecation, because that is really something that we must understand in this country as we are devising today's strategies for sanitation. Very clearly, we have a massive scarcity of water that is growing, but it's also important to understand that the scarcity of water is growing now because of increasing needs, competing needs from urban areas, in rural areas, and because of pollution. We also know that there is a major challenge that when we are setting up infrastructure, rural infrastructure for drinking water and for sanitation, we make investment, but that investment sometimes is not sustainable. And that becomes a very important challenge for us to consider for the future. The third, and I think particularly for the community here, issues that you grapple with on a daily basis. We know that sanitation funds are available. I think in the earlier session as well, Lizette made the very important point that Indian government has invested much more than many other governments of the world in terms of sanitation and water supply. But we know that funds are available, but often still the cost of technology is not paid for. And we also know that if you have poor technology, you can also lead to more pollution. So there are major challenges that need to be dealt with, both in terms of water as well as sanitation. But I think it's important for us to understand what I call the political economy of sanitation. But to understand the political economy of sanitation, you must understand the political economy of water. Water and sanitation, water and waste are two sides of the same coin. We know that currently most sanitation systems, particularly in urban areas, require a large amount of water. Water is used to flush, to carry, and to dispose of. As an environmentalist, often we are asked, what would you consider the biggest environmental criminal of the world? And I have often said, it's the flush toilet. The flush toilet simply because it is designed on a technology which uses a little bit of human excreta but uses so much water. But we also know that if the source of water is not sustainable, sanitation cannot be sustainable. But more importantly, as I said earlier, that if sanitation leads to pollution, and this has been a major challenge for rural sanitation, that if technology is not adequate, not well planned for, you could lead to contamination of the groundwater table. Then sanitation is not a solution, but it only adds to the problem. The big issue that often, and I'm particularly saying this with Kirit here, that we do not recognize is that growth will require water. Economic growth in India will require a large amount of water, both for our cities as well as industry, but discharge polluted water, which then adds to the water stress. And the challenge, the big challenge for urban as well as rural India will be to find answers which can minimize the use of water, which can generate less waste, which can treat, recycle and reuse every drop of water. As I said, this is a very important chart. If you look at today, the industrial world, in the industrial world, most of the water is used not in agriculture, but in industrial and in domestic use. But in India, most of the water, very rightly, is used in agriculture. The question that we have to keep asking is that as economic growth happens, and as cities become more powerful, become larger, in India, they will also require larger amounts of water. And that water will put further stress, as I said earlier, on rural India and on resources of rural India. Today, if you look at cities, most cities in India are searching for water. This is Sheila ji's city of Chennai, which has had massive water issues and is now searching for water from Veeranam Lake. Bangalore is pumping water up 1,000 meters from 95 kilometers from Kaveri. Delhi, of course, is getting it from either further away from the Tehri Dam. Look at Hyderabad, it's getting it from further, the Manjira and the Nagarjuna Sagar. Mumbai is getting it from there. Indore is going to get it from the Narmada River. And Jodhpur is already getting water from the Indira Gandhi Canal. Now, because of the distance in bringing water, as I said, we have to constantly look at the challenge of water and waste and understand this political economy. Because of the distance in bringing water from longer and longer distances, your inefficiencies in supply are getting larger and larger. So you're losing more and more water. The official rate today is that you are losing between 20 to 50% of the water is lost in distribution in most municipal areas. And because the cost of pumping and bringing water from further and further away is higher, you also have higher cost. And the tragedy of India is that you cannot invest in efficiency and clean water for all. If you look at this is a map of Delhi, and it's a presentation I also made. When I made it to the parliament, I said, this is where the parliamentarians are, and most of New Delhi today gets 500 liters of water per day, and there are parts of Delhi which get 30. And the reason to understand this, and I'm sure you're asking, what has this got to do with waste? The fact is that in our current system, all the cost and all the money we have, we spend in bringing water to households. We cannot invest in efficiency, and we cannot invest in pollution control or in sewage management. Now this is the big issue. When you add the waste to the sum, we know that the more water we use, the more waste we will generate. The more waste, the more money we need to collect, to convey, to treat, and to dispose. And the big issue that we have is that the more water we do not treat, or the waste we do not treat, the more polluted water we have. If you look at the national excreta maps, and these are maps that I have presented even before to Kirit and said it's important to look at the maps of national excreta and to understand that within the planning process of India, currently we have the capacity to treat less than 20% of the municipal waste that we generate.